Uh,
I only
well,
see once, and a
Yeah,
Connie's in twice. Oh, you are in twice, Ray. I see. Yeah.
yeah,
it's only
well, all
showing
right.
ones who her on video. So
You probably vote twice too.
Vote often,
illegally,
vote early, vote often, I say.
Right.
don't you be giving those nasty people reasons to doubt us.
It's
Remember, you
college
said they
recorded, you know.
good for the goose, good for the gander. Okay. We have about 3 minutes until I show 6:57 on my computer uh,
Yeah.
and on my phone. Anybody have something different?
Nope.
Nope.
I show 6:57, but I thought I heard the recording had started.
Oh, it did.
Okay.
I started it. So, okay. Well, I've been working on my slides and trying to get more information. Oh, I need to see if I got one answer back on something I asked. It was unclear. Ah, just got another one. Connie Foss is also going to phone bank.
Oh,
She's
great.
traveling right now, so she's not in this meeting tonight. And I didn't know this until just this minute. So, and Susanna Rain is going to join us in phone banking. And Anaid Savage, who I met when we hosted the convention 2 years ago, who's a delightful person, is going to join us in phone banking. She's not on WhatsApp, so but you see her here, and you may see her in other places in our statistics. Oh, Anaid, I want to get your call hub ID changed from MX for Mexico to CR for Costa Rica, so we get credit for your calls.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So want to find out what we could do to
Can,
get that
can
done.
you do it, or is there something that I need to do?
Susan or Michelle probably need to do it in the uh, leadership group.
Okay. Well, if you can contact them and have them do that, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I'll send a message tomorrow on that.
Okay.
Uh, so, personal news, my granddaughter, who was a valedictorian for class, I keep saying that, she moved into her college dorm at Texas A&M, where she's going to be in the honors engineering
Oh,
program to study aerospace engineering. So her classes start a, a week from yesterday. So that's exciting. So today I got her on WhatsApp. She's her one of her good friends is going to the study in the Netherlands. I said, well, you can talk to her for free on WhatsApp. Oh, okay. So I've got getting her, and then my granddaughter is also a big fan of my favorite movie of the year, Project Hail Mary. So she got all her roommates to watch it with her last night. So making friends. All
well,
right.
I need to do a
I'm
little
going
bit
to,
bragging. Connie, can I
yeah,
brag a little bit about my grandson?
okay. You got
Yeah,
20 seconds.
my grandson, Reed Johnson, started as a freshman a year ago at University of South Carolina, majoring in electrical engineering, and he made the dean's list his first year.
Good for
All
him.
right. Congratulations. Okay.
We're very
We
proud
had
of him.
about we have fewer than half of the people that were planning to be on this call or on this call tonight. I'll go in and put a note, say we're starting now. Starting. Okay. Um, I do not have pom-poms. I am not an experienced cheerleader, but I try to motivate and I try to encourage and I try to help people go, all right, team, let's go. So we're going to launch into the phone banking for 2026, and I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the share this, yeah, sure. And I'm beginning. Okay, so this is pre-launch. Tomorrow is the big launch. So we're on the countdown now. And now we're officially starting with this meeting. So I attended a meeting 3 days ago with other phone banking coordinators, and Steve was in that meeting too. Steve has done this job. He's kind of graduated to overall get out the vote, GOTV, but he's been in this position before and so he's still a phone banking coordinator, and he may have to fill in for me when I go to Texas, September 29th to October 20th, but I'll be still making calls as much as I can. So here we go. What we're going to do, I said welcome and introductions. This is the welcome. We'll see if some more people come in, and we'll see how much time we have before 8 o'clock before we do introductions and say more about ourselves. Earlier this year, quite a few of us, about 10 or so, participated in working on the country campaign. Country campaign is when members of a country committee, which in our case is Democrats Abroad Costa Rica, call members of the country committee, other members in the same country. Then we got ours done, and Mexico, Democrats Abroad Mexico, needed help. So we did quite a bit of calling to help them and get their calls made in the time frame that they needed to get them done. So I'm going to review some of the stats that came out of that. And then I'm going to talk about what we discussed, what we're going to be doing for the 2026 midterms, the overall big picture on how that's going to run. We'll talk about tips and phone banking procedures, reminders. We're going to have a chance for some questions. And at the end, I have information for you about a surprise benefit for members of Democrats Abroad. And I think one person in this group knows what this is and has done it. So we'll see when we get to that.
Connie, I'll send the message to Nelica.
Okay.
Thank you.
If I can get back to the chat, now it's disappeared. I'm not seeing it.
Okay. We called members of Democrats Abroad Costa Rica, then we called Mexico, and we made calls to all of our members. We made 1,892 calls. By the time we got to the closing date for our calling period, we had 0 calls left to make. The expiring at start and close, and Steve, probably you can help me with this. That means how long it's been since they'd been active. And expiring meant that they hadn't been active in so long that they were going to be dropped from the membership rolls, but we narrowed that number down some. Is that about right, Steve?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Then part of what we accomplished was, if you see VFA tags before starting, and make sure that you know VFA means vote from abroad, and the database that we work from, that Call Hub generates our calls from, is called Nation Builder. And in Nation Builder, as things happen, that database is updated, and a VFA tag means that the member has taken some sort of action in using vote from abroad. So 91 members had already requested their ballots or done some kind of interaction with vote from abroad before we started calling. By the time we got done, 286 members had sent in a ballot request or in some way used vote from abroad. So we did a 214% increase in the number of our membership from the start of our country calling campaign to when we closed. So I don't know what that number is now. If I find out later, I'll let you know.
I think it's about 380.
It's about 380 now. Good.
I believe
Country
so.
calling results for Mexico is that you can see on the left side of this chart the names of the people who participated in this. And and I want to say, first of all, thank you to all the volunteers for already what you've done this year and for what you're going to be doing this year. So appreciate it so much. But they say that some overachievers are called 900 and something people, but this total number, the percent of the calls for all the members of Democrats Abroad Mexico. So our volunteers made 2,822 calls. We made 46% of the calls in that period to the members of Democrats Abroad Mexico. So out of all the Mexico callers, all the membership was 6,000. So we did a big chunk of the work to get those people contacted. And they, the number of calls we had answered, we actually made contact with voters, was 499. So just wanted to, again, thank all the volunteers who participated in that, whether you made a few calls or you spent day and night working on it or whatever it was you did, whether you had 1% or 15%. So, yes. Here we are. We're going to take off now, and we're going to find out what's happening for the midterms. 2026 midterms calling. So the important thing I want to tell you now is that there are two phases of calling. The first phase starts tomorrow and runs to middle-ish of October. Okay, so we have we're launching. It's all hands on deck, round the clock, 24/7 till mid-ish October. We will be using Call Hub to do these calls. I think everybody that's in this chat has used Call Hub before. We will call every member of Democrats Abroad one time. We will send text, so there will be pre-formatted text. We will send text. Remember when we did the country calling for Costa Rica, we didn't send text, but we're going to be sending text in Call Hub, which is something most of us have done before. It's going to be pre-formatted. It's going to fill in their name. It's going to have the vote from abroad link, whether or not they've already requested their ballot, because they're going to be using the vote from abroad website for additional information too. Some battleground states and districts will be calling a second time. Okay, and then that's phase one, starting in mid-October-ish. And I'm saying ish because it depends how fast we get all the calls made in phase one. Okay, there's approximately 800 and something phone bankers around the world. Not all of them get online and do it, but if we all do it, we can get it whittled down. So it depends on how many get online, get on board, get going on this. So from mid-October-ish to November 3rd, the second phase of calling, which is optional and done differently, you'll be calling local calls, making local calls with your own phone to members. And in this case, it will be to members in Costa Rica. You're not going to be using Call Hub. We'll be using Google Sheets with check boxes. So you will be just recording the results by checking off boxes on the spreadsheet. It's not going to be like Call Hub. You're going to be using Google spreadsheets Again, the information is confidential, and they will all go back to the, let's say, the over ladies, the people who run Call Hub and run the phone banking to fill in the information. So what the goals are for this, we will call every member of Democrats Abroad around the world. We will send texts through Call Hub. If there's a cell number in the cell field, if we talk to somebody and there's not a cell phone number to send a text, ask them if they have a separate number to send a cell phone message, and fill that in if you can. If you need information on how to do that, you can find out in the training modules.
So Connie, when
you
you're saying, you're saying if they don't have a text number, you're asking if they have a number that we can send them a text?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we'll fill that in. Now, and you'll click on the text and it'll show no number in that field.
Right. Yeah. I just
And then
wasn't
you
sure.
put it in. Yeah.
I just
And then,
wasn't
we
sure.
will
You said
ask
you wanted to know if they had a number for a cell phone, and that's what I wanted to confirm.
No, we just want to know if they have a number where they can receive a text message.
Right, because some
Okay.
people don't want the text, and I usually ask if they don't have it. I ask them if it's okay to get a text. Do they have a number that I can text? And some people say no. So I just wanted to make sure I knew what the question was.
Okay. Well, if they say no, they say no. But if
Right,
we can get a cell phone number, but it will not automatically update in the member's profile information.
Right.
Priority calling will be Priority calling will be to members who vote in states requiring postal mail ballot return. That's about 50,000 calls. That number sounds like, oh my gosh, it's so many. But you've heard the expression, many hands make light work. Well, everybody is calling, then we'll get that done. That's the priority. All phone bankers around the world, not just Costa Rica phone bankers, are looking to make 180,000 calls in the next 2 months. They've got this kind of gamed out where they think we're going to be done by mid-October. So and there can be a few members who get 2 calls, especially if they're in battlegrounds. But there will be a need to stay alert, to be aware if priorities change. If suddenly somewhere looks, some congressional district looks winnable that we didn't think so before, those might get put into the Call Hub priorities also. The message that we're going to be trying to share, first of all, have you requested your ballot? Now, a lot of these people have gotten this call earlier this year, and we hope that they have requested their ballot. But if they have not, ask them to go to Vote From Abroad today. VoteFromAbroad.org to request their ballot be emailed to them. We will send text through Call Hub. If there's a cell phone number, text will include the Vote From Abroad link. And you can tell them, if they're textable, I'm sending you a text right now. There's a link to the Vote From Abroad website. You just click on that link and request your ballot. Then if they have requested their ballot, the next part of the message, which is going to be return your ballot. The ballots are going to arrive on Saturday, September 19th in email inboxes for those who have requested them by email. Saturday, September 19th. You may want to repeat the date a few times. Get them, say, sure, write that down. Look for your ballot that day. If it's not in your email inbox, check spam or junk. September 19th, you're going to get your ballot. And all phone bankers are looking to make the calls. And we also want to encourage them to vote down ballot if they can. If they're in a state that says I intend to return, means they get a state and local elections options too, or some states just automatically give you all of it. Please vote down ballot if you can in state and local elections. Everyone we call will be eligible to vote in the midterm elections. So have they requested their ballot? I noticed this 4 years ago that I had a lot of people I encountered that thought they could only vote every 4 years in presidential elections. And so I would say, no, every 2 years there are federal elections, not including a president, where every voter has a chance to vote for the House of Representatives. And 1/3 of voters will be able to vote in a United States Senate race. Like me, I'm going to vote for James Tallarico in Texas.
Yay.
So we will encourage down ballot voting, but we want to make sure they know they're eligible to vote, but they have to request their ballot. They should request it by email, and that they will get it 45 days before the election, September 19th, September 19th, September 19th. So get it that day, check their email inbox, check their spam folder if it's not there. Make sure to get the ballot returned in time to be counted. Now, some of the problems that may come up include things that they don't understand and things that we have to be careful with. We are not voter assistants. If the voter asks us a question, answer it if you're 100% sure. Sometimes that's just a matter of keeping your vote from abroad link open on your browser and check over there and say, oh yeah, your deadline to submit your ballot request is October the 15th or whatever but do it today. Don't wait on that. Do it today. Or, how you get your ballot back, you have to do it postal mail, or you can do yours by fax. So make sure that if you already know, you can answer it. But if you're not, direct them to go to the Vote From Abroad. And when you go to the Vote From Abroad browser page, this part where it says show more that I've put the red, I kind of have to scroll down to that. And when you scroll down and click on show more, it shows the Zoom the vote where they can get one-on-one help from voter assistants. They can request a one-on-one phone call. They can get into group chats. They can get into different things, ways to get their questions answered. If you know and can answer it quickly, but don't go into depth that you don't know. Otherwise, refer them to the Vote From Abroad website, Zoom the vote, live drop-in sessions with trained voter assistants, or schedule a call from a voter assistant. You can briefly write the issue in the notes. This will also give the voter assistance people a heads up that something is not sure of previous voting address or whatever the issue is, if you cannot help them. Now, if you're in the voter profile and it shows that they lived at 123 Main Street the last time, you can say, well, I show that you voted from 123 Main Street in Euclid, Ohio. Is that, and that does sound right to you? Oh, yeah. So, a reminder or something like that. But if they need some assistance, you can direct them to assistance. You can ask them, do you want a volunteer to follow up with you to help you? I don't have all the answers, but I can have somebody contact you, or go to the Vote From Abroad website and look for Connect with Voter Help Volunteers. It says up here in the upper right corner. And then, as I say, if they want a volunteer to follow up, you're going to mark that on your survey, put that in the notes, and refer them. You can refer them to voter assistance. You could send an email to help@democratsabroad.org and tell them what your question is or problem. So you have different ways to direct them to go to the voter assistant folks. And they're great. They do so much.
Connie,
Some more.
I have a question.
What's that?
I have a question, Connie. The show more button, where is that?
You have to scroll down on the Vote from Abroad browser page or phone page. You have to scroll down to find it.
Okay. Okay.
It's not just right there. Okay, so remember, time is money. All the minutes that we spend on Call Hub cost us money. Now, the Democratic Party abroad, and other sources are funding this, but we need to use the money efficiently. Try to avoid getting dragged into chit chat. Try to avoid talking about, well, my granddaughter's going to Texas A&M and she doesn't know how to request her ballot, or, try to avoid getting dragged into chit chat. You might need to practice saying very diplomatically, well, I have about 200 more people I'm supposed to contact today. So I think let's check. I think I've answered all the pertinent questions, and find a way to ease yourself off the call and go on to the next call. I know I'm guilty of this. I'm not looking at anybody else on this call. We have to be thorough, but get in and out. Get into the call, get out as efficiently as possible while being friendly and helpful. Be sure you have a smile when you announce yourself. This is Connie. I'm a volunteer with Democrats Abroad. May I speak to Rosalie Oates? And while being efficient, do check the information in the voter profile. Make changes, save changes, answer the survey that you've made and save the changes, and add a comment in the notes that you've made and save the changes. Voter address has changed, voter state has changed, whatever, and that you've updated the address, updated the zip code, updated whatever has changed in there. But be sure, because this information is critical to getting the right information to the right people and knowing where these voters are voting and if they belong in a battleground call or not. And if there are technical difficulties, that can be a problem. I have a whole list that I will put in the WhatsApp group chat about, you might have trouble with call quality if somebody is using the microwave at the same time you're on the phone. If your your router booster is not online, of course, if you're having technical difficulties, be sure to remedy those and restart. And also, we did have the problem earlier this year. Some of us, when we were trying to get somebody's voicemail that says, to leave a message, press 2, and then it wouldn't respond. So we'll see whether that's a problem or not. And we will leave voicemails, of course, too, for people we don't actually speak to. So we'll be calling everybody. We'll leave voicemails if we can't talk to a human, and we'll send them all a text if we can. Best practices reminders. Always have the Vote from Abroad page open in your browser so you can quickly refer to it for information. Remember to exit the app when you're not actively dialing and entering information. If you have to get up and go to the bathroom, exit Call Hub. If you need to stop and take a phone call on your personal phone, exit Call Hub. If you need to go have a bite of lunch and check in and make sure your husband's eating his lunch, exit Call Hub. Whenever you step away from the computer or you start doing something else on your computer, exit Call Hub. You go back into it when you're through with whatever activity that was. If you've realized you've made a mistake, oh my gosh, oh no, I can't make a mistake. Yes, you can. It's possible. People do it. We're human. If you've forgotten to save a bit of information or enter a bit of information, you actually hit save and next before you put a note in the notes from the call disposition. Try to stop right then. Use your whatever information you have in your brain, the name of the person you were talking to, what state they're in, anything, or if there's information is still on the screen, I know how to quickly make a screenshot, send it to Call Hub in an email to help desk Call Hub, and send it saying, I forgot to save the I forgot to put it in the notes that she said it was okay to email, or something. You do it right then. Don't wait another call, because then you're going to have that person's information in front of your face, and it's going to be harder to remember. But we don't retain that information. You just send Call Hub and let it go. Get out of Call Hub while you're taking care of that. Then log back in or hit resume. Don't let the clock be ticking. One of our things in the past that didn't really apply for me this year, as long as you were logged in, you would hear the music. And when I was doing the country calling earlier this year, I didn't hear the music between calls. It would just be quiet, and then it'd roll over to the next call. So just be sure you get out of Call Hub and conserve the resources. We're going to, practically everybody we're going to talk to that's going to have to return a mail ballot is going to be aware that mail service in the United States is not reliable. We saw a message today from Judy Freed, who sent a piece of mail as a test to her daughter a few weeks ago. It took 36 days that was from Costa Rica, Correo's office, to her daughter in the United States. 36 days. And we've got 45 days to get these mailed ballots back for the mail ballot states. So we want them to take action. If they have a ballot to return by mail, please do it this week after they get it. Take care of it. Now, people say, well, how do you do? Okay, I say, send it back as soon as you possibly can. Then you can say, your Democrats Abroad Mexico may have some resources for how they're going to plan to get their ballots back to their voting states. Check with your leaders in your area, or you could put your ballot in the embassy or consulate mail patch as soon as possible. Do it before October. But some people don't live where they can get to an embassy or consulate office. Some people live in countries that really don't have mail service. Send it via DHL or other trackable courier service to the street address. And make sure now for instance, Tarrant County, Texas has, for their mailed ballots, if I put it in the postal service, it could go to a postal address. But if I send that DHL, I have to use the alternate address for a street address, which is shown on the Vote from Abroad website. When I choose Tarrant County, it shows me the street address that I would have to use for a courier service. You might, depending on the restrictions, and if for a state, you might entrust it to someone reliable traveling to put it in the U.S. mail, but not violating the restrictions for that voter's state. Just be sure to be very careful. We're not asking anybody to harvest any ballots, but we're saying what their options are. And I downplay that, but just if your state allows somebody else to carry your ballot, so that they can find that information out. Or you may travel to the states to vote in person. Do carry your unvoted and unmailed ballot to turn in at the polling place so they could see. When I've done this before, I sign an affidavit at the polling place that proves that I'm not voting twice. I don't know if they put it through a shredder or in the trash or something, but anyway, that ballot was discarded. The one that I had already brought with me. I could study who the people were on it before I went to the polling place, but I did not mark it, check off anything, fill in any bubbles or anything like that. So those are basically, If they've got to mail it, they've got to mail it back in time to be counted or find a way to get it back in time to be counted. 45 days sounds like a lot, but it's not. It is not. So 18 states require ballots to be returned by mail. Other states allow mail along with some combination of fax or email. 4 states have web portals. August 19th, tomorrow, is when we launch for the ballot return push. Everybody, please make calls. At least make a few calls tomorrow if you can. Postal mail return states will call first, and battleground races, places where we have a chance to flip a seat in Congress or Senate from red to blue. Ballots drop on September 19th. Then we will have a push for people to fax their ballots back for the states that allow that. That includes at least 2 heavily populated states, Texas and California. And finally, electronic return, people of whom I'm very jealous. And in mid-October, you'll be using your own phone and the spreadsheets that you'll be sent and that you'll eventually send back to make calls to other people in Costa Rica. So, questions and discussion. I'm going to go back one.
Connie, I have a question.
Rosalie.
Yes, this is a little off track, but it's about phone banking. So I'm one of those people that receives calls from people that are practicing. And I feel like there's an echo, but and I got a call tonight, and the lady didn't verify my information. She asked if I requested my ballot. I said I had. I told her I voted in the primary. I was all set to vote, but she didn't ask me my email, my address, my phone number. Are we to correct if people call practicing, should I remind them to do that?
Steve, what do you say?
Absolutely.
Okay, I kind of wondered after I got the phone. I didn't say anything to her. Am I supposed to be kind of training as we go? Okay, I will do that in the future.
Give them feedback.
The point of the practice is to make sure they're doing it right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just say, there are a couple of points you would usually cover with people, and I don't think we discussed them. You didn't ask me if my email address was okay. You didn't check where my voting state was, and so yeah, nicely. Okay.
All right, I will do that
questions?
because I've had some people ask and some not. So okay.
Just a point.
Anybody else have questions?
Just a point to share. I think you said California and Texas allow faxes. So does Florida. I just got my confirmation that my ballot was in Florida, and I did it by fax.
If I said fax to Texas, that was completely wrong. Fax for Texas is only people who are on the USS Lincoln in a war zone. Fax, California and Florida are the big population states that allow faxing. And we have found that people who wait to fax, that they kind of back up with some of the faxing services and don't necessarily get delivered in time to be counted. So don't wait on faxing either. You got your ballot, you know who you vote for, do it and fax it right away. Any other questions? Comments? Okay. Last 2 years ago, we had weekly get-togethers that we called cocktail hours at 5 p.m. on Sundays. We discussed what was going on, interesting calls we'd had, problems we'd encountered. We had a chance to ask questions. We had a few guest speakers to explain some more of the ins and outs of what we were doing. I would just like a straw poll of, are you interested in having those weekly touch base get-togethers? They don't have to be an hour long, but we have a chance to ask questions and share our experiences and I'm perfectly willing to do that.
I really liked it. It was motivating for
Okay.
me. That's my.
Edmund, what do you think?
I don't know.
Okay. Anaid?
I like them as well.
Okay. Ray? You like them? Okay.
Yes.
Janice?
Yeah, I think they were helpful. I think we just need to make sure that people are not getting too far off topic.
Yeah, I agree. Steve, you okay with
Otherwise,
that?
it was good.
Yeah, I always liked them.
Yeah, they were good.
Okay. Okay. And I want to thank you again for volunteering tomorrow when you get up tonight. I don't know. The call hub may be open now because I don't know what time zone they count for August 19th because it's already August the 19th in Japan and Australia. So, but any time of the day or night, I found that if I couldn't sleep and I get on it, I got one of my really fun calls that I remember calling Australia. You know, I love getting a twofer, you know, where you get actually two voters. Oh, yeah, okay, my husband's going to do it too. I had one that was a sixfer. I had 6 votes come out of one call because they had 4 adult children too who could request their ballots. So I appreciate that. Together we make a big difference in electing Democrats and taking the U.S. government back from well, we don't want to go there. We've been so positive until now. Okay, now the off-topic surprise benefit in case you don't know this yet. Members of Democrats Abroad are eligible to join the State Department Federal Credit Union. They ship debit cards to other countries. If your credit union or bank back in the United States doesn't know how to do that, and they don't do that, you've got another opportunity here. And they can use non-USA phone number formats to communicate with them. So you can sign up, and they have good rates, very competitive, at sdfcu.org, State Department Federal Credit Union, because we are an organizational affiliate. When you go to their website, it says how you qualify to be a member of the credit union, and you will have you do a drop down, and there's a long list, and Democrats Abroad is in there. So you have the opportunity to change your banking or add to your banking relationships by going through Democrats Abroad. So this is a recent development, right?
Connie, do you know, do they charge the fee when you use a debit card on ATM machine? Do they charge it or do they reimburse you for it?
I don't know. And Kathy Rothschild isn't on this call. Jess, did you already sign up for it?
No, I did not.
Well, I'm trying to sign up for it, and it got to a point where it said, okay, now we're going to need you to scan your identification, and then it never continued. So I'll find out. Okay.
Okay.
That's an important because I get dinged with those ATM fees and everything too. But
Kathy,
apparently it's really good.
Connie, excuse me, not Kathy, Connie, the website, I mean, is this slide going to be somewhere that people can find this? Because otherwise, I mean, how do we get this?
I've recorded it to my computer. I'm going to upload it so that it can be available in, I'll put the link in the WhatsApp chat.
Okay.
Okay. But
okay, perfect.
State Department Federal Credit Union is sdfcu.org. All right. Anything else anybody wants to bring up, share, complain about? At least they stopped destroying Big Bend.
Yay.
Thank you, Connie. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to the battle ahead.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the enthusiasm. You got
Thank
me
you.
revved
And
up.
Thanks.
I will be sharing statistics on how we're doing on getting our numbers up, how our team is doing, and I'm really excited to get going on this. Been chomping at the bit all year. So let's take the Congress back and impeach Donald Trump and all
Oh,
his
man.
minions and all his minions. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you for coming. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Stop recording.